Today we are doing a demo of the Citra Solv transfer technique using magazines. What's so great about the Citra Solv transfer technique, you end up with this antique faded image with beautiful textures, and unlike other transfer techniques, you can use a magazine page that has color in it. It's really important to understand how experimental it can be. No matter how many Citra Solv transfers you've done, it's always somewhat of a crapshoot. I would throw out all your expectations. When you're doing Citra Solv transfers, you want to do a lot of them. I never sit down and do one at a time. Typically, I'll have to do many transfers, try out different things before I can get good results. Not all magazine pages are created equal. There's going to be certain magazines that just don't get very good transfers. The New Yorker works great. The process begins with finding the images. Pair many images so you have a whole bunch you can do all at once. You're really looking for a certain type of image. I don't like to pick images that are clearly editorial illustrations because these are images that have been made by an artist. Copyright can be a concern. Images that are very low in contrast, like this portrait, there are not a lot of darks. If you have an image with text, you have to be careful because remember, the text is going to transfer backwards. A lot of the magazine covers, they're a lot thicker than, say, the interior pages. I don't tend to use the magazine covers to transfer because they just don't do as well. You'll notice what all of these images have in common is that they have pretty high contrast. A lot of the colors that I've selected, they're pretty bright and saturated. Keep an eye out for some fun textures. You don't always have to pick images that are recognizable objects. I really love this image of shrimp, but the way that I tore it, it actually feels a lot more abstract. This image here is actually the back of somebody's head, but I tore it in a way so that it's a lot more about the textures. You find your images, you tear them out. Remember, the composition, it starts here at the tearing process. For example, if I tear this in half, that's a very boring vertical line that I have. Whereas if I try to tear it in a more dramatic angle, so now I have this triangle-like pattern, I happen to really like the torn look because I love the way these edges are. But you don't have to do that. You can totally use a pair of scissors and cut whatever shape you think is fun. You have to make sure you have a board, something like this that's not going to absorb a lot of the Citra Solv. This is going to get really dirty. I'm using a masonite board. This is nice and sturdy. It is a really good idea if you can afford it to get printmaking paper. This is Reeves BFK. I also have Arches. When you're using the Citra Solv, it's going to go right into the paper, and if your paper is really thin, it's not going to hold up very well. Citra Solv does have a really strong odor. I would recommend you either do it with all your windows open or do it outside. This is not something you want to be breathing. Ugh, what a mess. Where's my stuff? I'm going to start with something fairly small. The images that are bigger, they're tougher to transfer. Take your magazine page, you're going to flip it over so that way the image is flat against the sheet of paper. You're going to want a cotton rag, or in my case, your husband's old t-shirts. Get a little bit of Citra Solv into the rag. Hold this down with one hand. You're going to wipe the Citra Solv through here. You got to be careful you don't let this move around too much. So what I try to do is I always have one hand up against the magazine clipping. The amount of Citra Solv, you just want enough that you can actually go through the magazine page. This is just Xerox paper, and you want to place that on top. You're going to use the bone folder just across the entire transfer. I flip up the paper, and then I flip up the transfer, and I can see not a lot has happened. I'm going to try adding a lot more Citra Solv. Let me just dump it on top. There's going to be a seal here. You don't want to open the seal all the way. The Citra Solv is going to like pour out. You don't want that. What I usually do is I take the Citra Solv, I just cut a little slit, and then that way it comes out a little bit more slowly. Take a pair of scissors and, okay, this is a little unsafe. Don't do it like this. Just cut. Oh, crap. Okay, don't do that. Just, I don't know, maybe take like a razor blade or something. I think the rag maybe it absorbed too much of the Citra Solv and not enough of it went through. Okay, that looks better actually. You can see the image is more clear. Let's put this back over again, really press down. Okay, let's just lift that up and see. Okay, that's looking a lot better. And I try to change up my strokes so I'm not always going in the same direction. Okay, that looked pretty good. Yeah, that looked up. I can actually lift up some of this pigment and you can actually go into it like this. And I've done that quite a bit where I just want to paint with it. That's really nice because then the colors really match what that initial transfer was. All right, let's do another one. That really does not look good. And that's fine. You're gonna have ones that are total bombs that just look like crap. Ugh, where's all my stuff? I can't find anything. Come on. I'm gonna try putting the Citra Solv straight on there. It's a little bit too much probably, but I'd rather do too much than not enough. All right, so that's just a couple. Ooh, shoot, crap, don't do this. Okay, I was supposed to turn it the other way. You have to put the image on the other side. Okay, there we go. Do it like that, that's right. A couple drops really is all you need. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more on my rag. So you can do both. You can put a couple drops on top, but then you can also put some into your rag. Try doing the strokes with the bone folder in several different directions so you get full coverage. If you're doing this outdoors, have a couple paperweights around, otherwise your magazine clippings are gonna go flying. A follow-up where you do go directly on top of the magazine page. You just have to be really gentle with it. Let's just flip it up and see. Ooh, that came out really good. I'm gonna do a little bit more. Some of the bone folder strokes are a little bit too obvious and I don't really like that. I mean, some people might. Okay, let's try it. Ooh, that came out pretty good. You just sit here, you just keep making them. It's rather addictive. You're not gonna wanna stop. I think that worked pretty well last time to just drop a couple spots on here. Backing sheet, do the general scrape. You gotta hold onto this with your dear life because the second stuff moves, that's not good. Let's just take a little peek. Ooh, that came out like really good in the middle. Check the bottom. Oh, this one came out so good. What the heck? All right, I'm gonna do another pass, just a little bit more. Okay, let's see how that came out. Ooh, really clear. Oh my gosh, I had no idea. See, it's such a crapshoot. This one did not really come out clear at all. This is crystal clear. Look at this first one. This is just a total train wreck. The bigger images, you have to cover more area and it just takes longer. Okay, let's take a little peek. Look. Ooh, that came out really cool. Oh my gosh, let me see. Oh, that looks really good. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more rubbing. Some people may want to transfer that's cleaner. Other people may like it super faded. There's no correct way to do a transfer. Up here, you can see the bone folder stroke. I don't really like that. Nice. Ooh, that one came out really good. I really want to try this one. And then I didn't get enough Citra Solv here, so I'm going to go in and just add like another drop. You can see that looks nothing like the original magazine page, and that's cool. Let's actually do one with text. Since I have some extra space here, I'm going to just tear this sheet maybe up here. Whoa, that one transferred so freaking fast. Oh my God. Wow, that is crazy sharp. This one did not transfer, and this one, it's clear as day. I pretty much always add charcoal or pencil. Usually a soft, powdery drawing media works really well. If there are sections that I just want to pump up a little bit more of the contrast, make a transition here, or you can paint with the pigment of the magazine. So if I just take a rag like this, you can see I added this little scrubbing. Then you get colors that are fairly similar. Or using chalk pastels, these are really fun. I might take some green. Your rag is your best friend here. The rag gives you so many opportunities. Ooh, I really like that color. Let's actually build that up. And you can play with how much physical pressure you put on this. Like right now, I'm going to press really hard, and you can see that's a very different look. I'm reacting to some of these shapes. They have this harshness to them, and I'm going to do that down here. A little more Citra Solv, move it around with the rag. Everything blends in so easily. You can treat the Citra Solv transfer like a starting point. Rarely a Citra Solv transfer is done after you've transferred it. Most of the time, there's something you want to add to it later on. You can paint on it, anything you want. My shrimp, come on. Hello? What happened to my shrimp? Where the heck is that? Shoot. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's my shrimp. I really want to do the shrimp.